Minder Suri, and it's my pleasure and honor to be here today virtually and to participate in this meeting. And as Sarah was saying, that I will give you a little overview about the panel, the independent panel that we are setting up, and the kind of work that we will be doing, and how we could engage more with you, and what our scope of work and deliverables would be. So in this independent panel, there'll be experts having experience in different aspects that would be needed as we review the submissions that we receive. So as I'm sure you're aware that there have been a number of submissions on the importation aspects for the restoration of the sea. And we opened the call for a little bit more time till, I think, October 12th to see if there can be any more ideas, in case you have, or entities have ideas that we should consider, as well as entities who submitted their ideas previously would like to add to those or add more information. So once we have these submissions, we will be evaluating those, and of course we would need expertise to do so. So on the panel, the folks would be covering a wide range of expertise, and here are some key ones that are listed on this slide. So they'll have experience in designing and building large-scale water infrastructure from the technology perspective and scientific perspective. While designing and constructing these systems is important, but also important is how to operate and manage. So, especially for their long-term robustness of these types of projects. So we'll be looking at the submissions and from those aspects as well. And then, of course, there are water and environmental laws and the permitting issues. So we'll have that expertise on hand as well. And a very important component that Secretary Wade Crawford also highlighted is the public engagement and communication. And we would welcome participation from the stakeholders. And as I mentioned, we've already increased the submission period, and then I'll talk more about that in a minute. And then, of course, the information which is there, which is received, how to assess that and analyze the data, so that aspect would be there as well. If we go to the next slide, please. Okay, so the panel members have been voted for their expertise, for their experience, and also for any conflict of interest aspects. And in addition to the expertise that the panel members will collectively bring to the table, we'll also have support from experts at University of California, Santa Cruz, for example, the economists or scientists which are there on their team. Kennedy Cheng's consulting company, which is a very prominent consulting firm, which has a lot of experts in-house, and they could bring those types of expertise that would be needed. And in addition, if we need any other specialized expertise, we have the opportunity to hire those consultants as well. So I think collectively we'll have not only a a wide diversity of expertise, but also a significant depth in the expertise as we review and assess the different submissions that we receive. Next slide, please. So as I was mentioning, that the primary role is to review, assess the submissions, and then provide a report with our recommendations to the Salton Sea Management Program. And to do that, we'll be coming up with the evaluation criteria, and we'll review those proposals against those criteria and rank them. And these evaluation criteria would be, again, very diverse, of course, from the technological perspective, and then the practical feasibility of the project, of course, the cost, and then very importantly, the impact it will have on public health, on improving the environmental health, the economic impacts that it will have in the region, and at the same time, the risks associated with those projects and the mitigation strategies, plus, of course, the long-term viability of those projects. So the panel will be formulating those criteria and then for our review process. All right, next slide, please. So far, as you probably know, we have received 11 submissions and concepts, and we have solicited for any additional ideas that anyone would have. At the same time, if the original submitters have additional information or would like to make any changes, there's an opportunity to do so, and we have a date of October 12th, so there is ample time to provide us with more information if you'd like. Next slide, please. So the deliverables from the panel, there will be 2 deliverables, 2 report outs. The first one, we're calling it as a screening report. So the submissions that we get initially, we will review those. It'll be more of a screening process against the criteria that we come up with, and see which one of the submissions seem more feasible, and those will be evaluated further. And then we'll do a more deeper evaluation of those proposals. Next slide, please. And the second report out is a feasibility analysis and summary report, including our recommendations. So the proposals that make through the first screening will do a more detailed evaluation and provide our assessment and our recommendations. And of course, our evaluation criteria and the process that we undertake, we will be describing in that report. So that report would be submitted around the middle of next year. Right. Next slide, please. Right. So we have set up an email, and if anybody would like to share their thoughts, ideas, please do, and you can send your comments to this email, and the program coordinator will then route those comments to the individuals or the panel as appropriate. And we will be holding a public meeting in fall. The panel is planning on traveling to the Salton Sea region in early November, and hopefully we'll get a chance to meet with you and hear more from you. And then in addition to that, we will be having meetings like this one more next year, as Assistant Secretary Archie Delgado was mentioning, having meetings every 2 to 3 months next year. So I guess there will be plenty of opportunities of interaction, and in those meetings, I would be happy to provide you with updates on the progress that we make in the panel, as well as hear your comments. So I think